Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 18th. This week, we are just going to jump right in here. You have this happy card in this peace card. I love this card. She is like channeling happiness into the top of her head. So a lot of you, something's making you happy this week, or there's something that could be, bringing you peace as well with that peace card. You start with the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. The Knight of Swords is my card of making sure that you aren't jumping to conclusions, and, we're definitely in the Mercury shadow this week, so I would say that Mercury retrograde is never a good time to jump to conclusions or to make assumptions about things, right? We kind of have to maybe be a little bit more patient and allow things to kind of play out. And I feel like that's what that Knight of Swords is saying, is it's like saying, pretty much everything that you deal with this week, make sure that you're not just jumping to conclusions or, assuming things or, being too hasty in your decision making. One thing I will say is that you also have the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is usually like an opportunity that we do want to take advantage of rather quickly. So the Ace of Wands is usually something that is like a spark of hope or a spark of inspiration, something that inspires us, something that makes us feel exciting. And the thing with the Ace of Wands is that it's just a spark. And I always say we have to like build that fire. We have to make sure that the fire keeps burning because, again, it's just a spark. And Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. And so a lot of you, this could be like a new beginning that's like rushing into your life, and you are going to have to take control of the situation quickly by giving it energy. So, I kind of feel like this is saying like no assumptions, but also if you are presented with an opportunity, you are going to have to work with it, rather quickly. But I feel like the Knight of Swords is talking about kind of like two different situations. You have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups says follow your heart at this time, which, we're in a heart-based time. You even go up to the Page of Cups, to the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is Taurus. That Uranus and Taurus energy that we still have until the end of 2025 really wants us to be following our heart and kind of like following our intuition. And so we have to pay attention to what our heart is telling us to do to be able to get the benefits, and that's what I would definitely do here. Some of you could be attracting a new connection as well. You go Queen of Cups, Page of Cups to the King of Pentacles. If you are attracting a new person, again, with the Knight of Swords, like the Ace of Wands is a good card, and it says that there could be a lot of passion and desire in this connection, but still with that Knight of Swords, if you are getting in something new, I would like take your time. Like, you're a Pisces. Pisces falls in love like very quickly, so I would say, just like take your time and don't rush a connection. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Chariot, which is like rushing towards a victory or rushing towards success, right? And I feel that there definitely could be a big victory coming in here. Even in the area of the good stuff, you have the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is a quick success as well, or a quick conclusion. So there definitely is something rushing into your life here, and it's going to be very successful. Again, I think the weird thing about this reading is it's saying there's just a lot of stuff rushing into your life, and so you're going to have to really try to slow things down in your head, right? And this is not contradictory. This is, sometimes the energy is rushing, and we just have to be able to slow things down. So I definitely get that on the Knight of Swords, but you do have the Chariot, which is good. With the Ace of Wands, you're definitely moving on to something new. You have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords moving on to calmer shores and leaving the past in the past. This woman and the child in the boat here, they're bringing nothing with them but the clothing on their back. So they are completely starting over. And the Ace of Wands is very similar. So a lot of you are definitely kind of like on the edge of a major new beginning or major, it kind of feels like a little bit of a breakthrough to me. But, I would also just say that I kind of feel like everybody is going through this right now. I mean, we have a major planet, Pluto, is changing signs and going into Aquarius on the 19th. So, Pluto is all about reinvention, and it wouldn't surprise me. I think everybody is kind of reinventing something in their life, which would lead to a new beginning, and that's really what the Six of Swords is saying. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Emperor. Yeah, it could be attracting an Emperor and Empress. Like I said, if you're looking for love, and we have the Four of Wands as well. There's not like a ton of love here, but which always tells me that you could just be meeting a person. You could be, talking to a new person, and that's really what I feel. Is that it's just like the beginning of the situation. You haven't really gotten into it. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Crow Spirit. It says co-create with Spirit, and you can't make this one up. You have the Seahorse. It says watch and wait. So, like I said, I think that it would be a great time for you to be patient, which I don't know about you, Pisces, but I'm like the least patient person I know, so I know how hard it can be. But I feel like that Seahorse is saying patience, which is basically what I said on the Knight of Swords. Don't rush things. What I think this is more about is like getting evidence as well for you, Pisces. So it's like instead of like falling in love on the first date with the Ace of Wands and the Page of Cups, it's like saying allow the situation to develop. Like if you normally fall in love on the first date, again, and I don't know you, so obviously you're gonna have to be honest with yourself here. But maybe you need to tell yourself, you know what, I'm just gonna take my time and give this 5 dates, right? I would put some sort of like number on it and see how things go. It's like this might sound disconnected, but one thing that changed my life is that I started giving my projects like 90 days, like every 90 days, every quarter. Basically, I work on something new and big in my life. And if after, because people always ask me, like, when do you know when to give up on something, or when do you know when to quit? And, my rule is 90 days. I give everything 90 days, and like every quarter I start a new thing. And if it works, then I keep going after 90 days. If it doesn't work, then I don't. And so, that is like the number that I have to give myself to wait to see if I need to move on or keep going, right? And so it's going to be different for all of you, but it's like maybe you need to give something a number and just say, like, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to give this much time, and I'm going to give it a good effort, but if it doesn't work, I'm moving on. You have the Four of Swords, Page of Cups, and the Five of Swords. Four of Swords, of course, is resting, relaxing, recovering. Entering into Mercury retrograde, of course, I would take as much time as you need to rest, relax, recover. It might be a better just time for you in general to rest, relax, recover, and take time for yourself and not rush things and not like force things to happen. Again, I think all that would be good for you. You even have this peace card, which is all about like being at peace and bringing more peace into your life. And I think that's what the Four of Swords is saying. You have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups could definitely be an admirer. Page of Cups can be love. It could be, you have water and earth really stand out to me here. So it could be like a water sign or an earth sign that's coming in for you. But the Page of Cups is usually like a very dreamy person. And, again, that's what I would be careful of, Like, I think this is good. You end with the Four of Wands, which is marriage. But it's like, I know how I am. So, like, I'm just saying how I am, right, in relationships. And I feel like this is saying, like, allow this to develop, allow this to turn into something. Again, sometimes I think if Pisces gets with another person who's also very dreamy, then it's just a delusional relationship. It has no legs, right? And so I feel like this is saying you could be attracting a person that has a lot of like fantasies about you, and I feel that this is saying like slow things down. You have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is about taking a risk. I do feel like you're taking a risk right here. You have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is the person who has to get all the arrows in his back. We talk, they say that like people who are innovators, who are the first to do something, they're the ones that get the arrows in their back because they're the first to do something. And that's definitely popping into my head with that Six of Wands, where it's like you could be doing something that's going to require strength, in like work or business or your career. And it's like you might be the first. And, I think you're going to have the strength to kind of like get through it, if that makes sense. With the Four of Swords, you have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is Knight in Shining Armor. Definitely, this is something you wish for. He's wishing or praying to receive something on the Four of Swords, and then you have the Knight of Cups. For those of you that don't want love, and even if you do, both of these cards are very dreamy, and, it can just represent your dreams or doing something that is a dream. So, again, take it how it resonates. With the Page of Cups, yes, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is the tennis match of love. So if you're meeting a person, this is all about, instead of just being a Pisces and, vomiting your emotions all over this person, the Six of Pentacles is like, you hit the ball to their side, you wait for them to hit the ball to your side. It's the, like, do not overinvest up front, right? Just have that, be patient, have that nice, equal give and take, and just see where things go. Six of Pentacles is about planting seeds in a direction. but you're kind of like nurturing something into existence with the Six of Pentacles. So we really have to take our time with this energy and not rush a connection. So I would, again, take your time. With the Five of Swords, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is stability. And here, going this way, the Four of Pentacles could represent leaving a comfort zone or stepping outside of a comfort zone. And, the Six of Wands could be you getting attention. And it definitely seems to me like a lot of you are about to do something that's going to get you a lot of attention. Even with the Chariot, he's leaving the city behind him behind. So he's setting himself apart. And obviously, if you're setting yourself apart, then you're going to get more attention. But I was getting something about like arrows in your back, like I said earlier. So it's like you're going to be the first to do something, or even if you're not the first, it's like you're one of the first. And, again, I think you should push through that initial stage. And maybe that's why this is saying be patient. It's like if you're the first to do something, like in business or work, and you're like laying the groundwork, it's like you might not see as much success as you want, like right up front. So I feel like you're going to be successful, but maybe it's not like billions of dollars overnight, And I feel like this is saying, like, take your time through that process, right? You have this purpose card and this trust card. Yeah, I feel like you need to trust that something is your purpose, something that you have discovered. And I also think you need to trust that something can last for a long time with that King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is really a card of, like, longevity. He is a card of stability. He's a card of convention. And he has very good skills. He has these grapes on his cloak, and the grapes in the tarot represent something that's very difficult for most people to grow, but he can do it well because he has the skills. But he really likes to build things that are long-term. He likes to build things that have legs, like I said earlier, things that can, kind of be successful for a longer period of time. And, with Uranus and Taurus, I've been telling people for years now that they need to build things that are kind of not fly by night. People need to build things that have stability and structure and foundation. And that's what I feel like you're doing here is like you're working on creating more structure. I think for a long time, I probably said this in your last reading, I think you're just used to, building those things that kind of, burn really quickly, where it like gets very exciting very quickly and then it shrinks, it dies. And, I think this is more, I wouldn't even call it a slow burn, but I think this is a fire that you can maintain, right? That you're trying to build, whether this is love, business, or otherwise. Like instead of just going up into the sky and exploding, this is something that can last a lot longer, and that's what I feel like you're focusing on. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of a victory or a big success coming in for you. So I definitely feel there could be a victory or big win coming in for you with the Six of Wands. I also feel there's like a lot of attention, which makes sense. I think that Pluto in Aquarius, even though it's in Aquarius, it's very close to you. And, I think it's going to bring you a lot of attention, and I think it's going to make you stand out as well, probably for your ideas. Again, it's happening in your 12th house, which is actually very good, especially because of the time that we're in. And because we have things like AI, I think that Pisces could do very well. I'm not saying you have to use AI, but, I think it will be very good for Pisces who want to use technology, who want to use their intuition, who want to use their creative ideas as well. Like all of those things will make you very successful. You have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups is regrets or sadness. I feel like you're trying to avoid regrets and sadness, just in general. I also feel if you do want love, again, and maybe you're afraid because of past connections, that this is, again, just saying be patient. Like, don't just rush right into it going this direction, or that it might end in regret. But if you take your time, then I think things will go well. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Death card. Yeah, some sort of big transformation. We said this, that you are reinventing yourself. Are you reinventing yourself? I don't know. Like, this could just be you shining your light, or and by that I mean showing your truth. Like, there are things that you've always wanted to do, and maybe you haven't been able to do them. And so is it really a reinvention, or are you just, again, kind of like shining your truth? Maybe that's a better way to put it. It's like, there might be, with the Chariot, sometimes I feel that there are things that we want that we've just never said to anyone, or we haven't put out into the world. And so like when we do something with that Chariot and people see it, they're like, what the hell are you doing? And I think that could be happening to you. With the Six of Wands, you have the Hangman, which is you showing up in a very strong position. Again, you are ready to take action towards whatever you're thinking. The Hangman says you've been on pause for a while, and the Hangman also says it's time to get off that tree of knowledge and wisdom and start taking action. With the Five of Cups, you have the Justice card. Justice is cause and effect and balance, of course. So I feel like you could be creating a lot of balance, or you could be balancing things out in your life, which is great. I also feel that this is also talking about that Six of Pentacles, cause and effect. Like, don't overinvest with a person. Take your time and pay attention to the evidence, which is literally what I said. Like, if you give something energy and it gives energy back to you, then that is good evidence. If you give energy to something and it doesn't give energy to you, then it is bad evidence, right? And I would just pay attention. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have the spend time in nature. It says, let beauty of nature refresh your soul. You have the speak to yourself with kindness. It says, become aware of how you speak to yourself. Yes, I think you need to make sure that you are speaking to yourself kindly and, nicely, and using kind words on yourself. And that's exactly what I would do here. And I would make sure that you do it. You have the Strength card, the Four of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. The Strength card, of course, is a card of patience and and taking your time. The Strength card is about developing a lot of strength. She is getting this lion to submit to her. Its tail's between its legs. And so that lion represents her inner voice, her inner critic. And you have this card that says, speak to yourself with kindness. So I think you are really speaking life into the things that you're creating at this time. And, I would speak good words over the things that you are creating, because I feel like those good words will make whatever you're doing very successful. And, again, that's it with the Strength card. I would make sure to use good words. You have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a card of marriage, of course. Some of you could be meeting a person I feel that you could marry in the future. Nothing is set in stone with the tarot, so, I think this is a possibility. I don't think you're going to marry this person, today or even like this year, or next year even. But I definitely feel that you could be working on building something that really could go far. Again, I keep getting those words that something has legs, meaning that something can go far. And I definitely get that here in this reading for you. But, I think patience is key, and I also, there's something about fantasy that is popping into my head. It's not exactly, the message is not clear, right? But it's like, it's like sometimes I think we get into relationships, and if it's almost like, I'm not telling you to be closed off, right? But it's almost like if we're too open, we ruin the fantasy for the other person. Or I don't know what I'm trying to say. I hope that makes sense. Probably not. I mean, I'm kind of getting a little bit of a cold here, so hopefully I don't. I've been taking tons of vitamin C, so hopefully I'm fine. But again, it's like not exactly clear, the message. There's something about that. Like, allow the person to have their fantasy is maybe what I want to say, and it could be anything about you. And again, I'm not suggesting you lie or any of that stuff, but what I am saying is allow for a little bit of mystery, allow for a little bit of playfulness. It's like sometimes I think when we meet a person and we try to rush right into a relationship, again, it ruins that kind of like fantasy, if that makes sense. You have this Eight of Wands, and it's them. It's not you, by the way. It's like in this reading, I feel like this person has more of this fantasy, this story that's built up, right? And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. You have this Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success or quick conclusion. So I do feel like there could be a quick success coming in for you with Eight of Wands. I also feel like there could be good news coming in, going this way as well. Going this direction through that Hangman. And so this could be news that you've been waiting for. With the Strength card, you have the Two Wands. The Chariot and the Two Wands would represent getting out of a comfort zone or taking the lead on something. And so I definitely feel it's time for you to take the lead on your life. The Two Wands and the good stuff would really represent progress. So you could be making a lot of progress at this time as well. With the Four of Wands, you have the Four of Swords. Yes, more resting, relaxing, and recovering. But again, I said that this is something you've hoped, wished, and prayed for. And then there you go with the Four of Wands. So you definitely, if you're attracting love, I feel this is something you've asked for. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords, which is actually really good because the Nine of Swords and the good stuff would say that you're not repeating a cycle, that you are breaking a cycle. And of course, that is a good thing. I kind of feel like you're just getting different results, especially in all areas of your life. It's like maybe you're used to, again, like I said, that quick burn where like you build something up in your life very quickly and then it explodes. This, I think, is you changing that cycle. You have this chair empty. It says someone is leaving your life. I feel like someone's entering your life, really. So, take it how it resonates. You have this jug. It says lighthearted, carefree time. Yes, I would be less outcome attached, right? I would be more focused on just having fun, having a good time, and don't focus too much on oh, I need to marry this person, or oh, this business needs to make $1 million tomorrow. Things like that. I would just enjoy the journey. You have this mice card. It says discord among family or friends. There's weird, all these retrogrades. Mars retrograde is notorious for causing problems with family. So I would just keep a cool head. Again, Knight of Swords, don't jump to conclusions, and you'll be perfectly fine. You have this heart. It says love, deep affection, and caring. Yes, I think there's a person who really wants to care for you. And, that's the other thing that I think that this could be saying as well. It's like one of those things. It's like maybe you're a giver because you're a Pisces, of course. And, maybe this is a person who really wants to give to you for once. And I feel like this is saying, let them give to you. Let them, do these things that they want to do for you. And, as long as they're good things, of course. And, I think this is just saying, let them do that, don't try to give more or something. And I don't know. I hope it makes sense, but there you go. You have this arrow card. It says you're on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. Definitely. 8 of Wands, Chariot, 6 of Wands, 2 of Wands, Ace of Wands. There's something that's inspiring you, and I feel like you need to move in that direction. I said arrows. How crazy is that? I literally said arrows in your back. There's definitely something. I'm not saying you're necessarily going to be the first to do something, but, I think you could be the first to do something in an industry. It's like maybe other people have gotten something started, but you're going to be doing it in a unique way. I'm telling you right now, over the next 19 years, you have the opportunity to become extremely successful by trusting those innovative ideas with Pluto and Aquarius. So if you get one of those inspirations now, Ace of Wands, get started. But this looks really good, Pisces. Thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.